Hmm. What's up? Okay. Oh,
We're not
what's
back yet.
up? Sure.
Blah 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 blah. I almost had a fridge fall on me yesterday.
Yeah.
I was helping
Uh,
him move, and his other buddy that was helping is one of those people that he's a director. He feels like he needs to tell everyone exactly what to do and how
oh,
to do it.
sure. Yeah.
And when I work with the people in a situation like that, I just let him take the reins because I'm not gonna argue shit.
Oh, yeah.
A,
No.
it's not my stuff, and if he breaks any of my buddy's stuff, he's
That's,
the one that's gonna have to pay for it,
yeah.
not me.
Uh-huh.
So he's trying to move fridges and like other large appliances.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing it very haphazardly. And we
Oh.
tried to move the fridge, and he was sliding it off the back of the truck. Now my buddy's truck is raised to
Yeah.
where like the tailgate lays down at about 4 feet above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to slide the fridge off, and it hit lip and started to fall back off the truck.
Oh,
And I
shit.
was like right there, and I kind of caught it with my body,
Uh-huh.
which hurt immensely. And then my
Oh,
buddy
yeah.
Will like went over there, and we kind of like pushed it back up.
Mm-hmm.
But because I took the brunt of a fucking fridge, my knees and back are killing me.
That sucks.
All right, guys. I fixed the issue. I'm pretty sure they can hear me now. And this time, no echo like last time. And again, good morning, everybody. This is your weekly morning show, kind of weekly. Um, Welcome to year 2015. And an entire new year brings in a whole new lot of new changes, specifically this one. So, with me today to talk about various topics in the game industry is Greg Dietz.
Hello, hello.
And joining us for the first time on this show, but not on our. If you listen to our previous show on the podcast, we have a newcomer. We have Chris Beyonce now joining us now on the morning show as well this morning.
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
All right, so this morning we're going to talk about various topics in the game industry that has happened the past week. Bear with us; it is still pretty early in terms of the new year, so I'm pretty sure that there's some news, but not a lot. I think the first thing we do have to adjust because this has been a thing that's been popping up as of late. The hacking of Sony PSN, Xbox Live, and Origin. There were reports of hackings that's happened over the past week, especially during Christmas time last week. And hackers, I can't remember the exact group who called themselves that claimed the hackings, but it did happen, and it was more or less a lot of gamers were annoyed and angry at the situation. So I kind of want you guys' thoughts on the whole hacking type of deal.
Well, hasn't
Um,
this happened before?
In
Was it
turn,
last? It was last year, wasn't it?
God damn it, we crashed.
Oh, did we?
It's, I mean, they'll pop in and out. Like,
Oh.
it's not like
But
a huge Oh.
what? We have an audience of what? 5 people, maybe. 6 people.
It
7.
ranges. Like sometimes it range from like one
the
person
fact
to
that
like.
there's the fact that there's
Anybody.
a person.
Yeah. No. That. Yeah. But I mean, regardless of the numbers here, still.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oops. Sorry, folks.
We'll be on shortly.
It was a minor hiccup thanks to your beloved XSplit. Okay, getting on Twitch server. Oh, come on, give me a better one.
This
There we
is
go.
streaming on YouTube as well, right?
It does actually, both on YouTube and on Twitch. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Um. Okay. We are live. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna do double recording again. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. So, sorry, folks. Little crash there from beloved XSplit. Okay, so you were discussing, Chris, about like asking if this happened last year with the hackings.
Yeah, I was asking if this. Well, I mean, I just actually looked it up and noticed it was 3 years ago that this same kind of thing happened with the big PSN outage for a few days.
Right, right. Um, it did happen in 2011. And with the PSN, and it was during that time where there was a huge hacking then, and Sony went out of their way at E3 to kind of apologize to everybody. It's like, we're sorry that this happened. We'll make sure that this will never happen again in the near future. Um, and it seems that as time went on, I wouldn't say hackers are getting smarter, but it seems like um, people are able to take down security walls by DDoSing and other means to other big companies rather easily than yesteryear.
Yeah.
I think that's just because these companies they aren't they're using precautions like they should. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's easier to take down firewalls. Well, the biggest thing I was reading online from I don't remember what website, but they were talking about how a lot of these companies use firewalls that are ages old.
Yeah.
Like
Probably
if
something
they were
that's
to,
like efficient.
right, and that's what sucks. That's like people like I was talking about this with my brother during Christmas because a few weeks prior to Christmas, um, the sorry,
No, it's okay.
a few weeks prior to Christmas, I'm doing like 8 things at once in my room
Yeah.
right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I went to stream because I stream for a group called Mission Star. I'm sorry, for Half Empty Energy Tank.
Uh-huh.
And I came home from my buddy's house, and it was like Tuesday, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stream for you guys, like, because somebody couldn't or whatever.
Hmm.
And I couldn't log on, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't log on. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
And so I go online and I'm doing some research, and they were like, oh, it's Lizard Squad. They DDoS and all that jazz, and
Oh shit.
um, and so I message everybody in the group chat for Half Empty, letting them know like I can't stream because of this, and apparently it's Lizard Squad. I had never heard of them before that point.
Hmm.
And one of the girls that was in the group that she streams as well, she was like, yeah, they do this and this. They've been threatening to do it for a long time. They're just they're not like trying to steal any information. They're not trying to put any information out there that's from customers. They're just trying to fuck with the company.
Oh,
They're
sure.
just like expert level trolls.
Yeah.
And then she posted their Twitter account,
Hmm.
and I went there and they were just like, ha ha ha, hashtag Xbox down, all this kind of stuff.
Oh.
And they were like, if you think this is bad, wait till Christmas. And I knew that. I remembered that, and I said, I'm not getting on my Xbox on Christmas Day. I know they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
No one heeded the warning, and they did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that they were gonna do the same thing on Christmas as well. Maybe a month prior. And I was like, I wouldn't doubt if it would go down. But I mean, at least it wasn't like with the PSN outage though. That one lasted basically a month, and these recent hacks are these networks still down, or they're good and back up?
They're
They're
as far as I know, like they're good and back up. But in terms of like, it just seems to me like when it comes to these hackings as late, as a person who plays games, is like you can't really do much other than like oh, because I can't play Xbox Live today.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's like the weather. It's like it's like
It's a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
well, I'll say this: ever since like 2 days after, because I think I was doing something the day after Christmas.
Uh-huh.
But ever since then, like I've had very, very little issues with Xbox Live. The only other issue I had was like a few days ago, my buddy and I couldn't party up,
Oh, okay.
and so we just Skyped instead, and it worked fine.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it's like PlayStation got hit harder than anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
like
No
they're-
doubt.
yeah, they got hit pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to fix their servers in a huge manner right now, and they're having a big pain in the ass with it. So
they're still down. PSN.
they're not down. They're up. They're just scrambling to get it working to where it
Oh,
was.
sure, I see.
It's definitely sporadic. Like my brother-in-law plays Call of Duty,
Uh-huh.
and for like a straight week after everything had happened, he couldn't log on.
Oh,
And he kept
sure.
texting me like, "Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything?" And I'm like, "They just keep saying they're working on it, man. I have no other information."
Yeah.
And then like he was like, "I got on, I got on." He's all excited, and I was like, "Then play, catch up." And then like 2 days later, he texts me, and goes, "Now I can't log on again." And I'm like, and I had to explain to him what I had read on CNET, which was it's a fluctuation sort of thing, like
Yeah,
rolling
so.
blackouts. It's just gonna happen for a while because as harmless as DDoS attacks seem to be, they're actually really damaging to servers.
Yeah. No, that's what I've heard repeatedly before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks. And the guys at Lizard Squad are just giant assholes.
Yeah.
They just want to fuck with people, and that's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
My brother was telling me at Christmas that there was a guy who he's part of Lizard Squad. He was hanging out with another friend. Like that's how Josh found him. Was he came in with a friend, and Josh goes up and says, "Like I heard you're with Lizard Squad." The guy was like, "Yeah, it's pretty awesome." And Josh goes, "Get out of my bar."
Wow.
And the guy was like, "Why?" And Josh says, "Because we don't allow assholes in here." It was pretty great.
That's
That's
great.
funny.
That's awesome. For better or for worse, I mean, I agree with what you said, Greg, and with you, Chris. It's just an annoyance, if anything. But hopefully in the future, some of these companies will tighten it their security. So less it is what happened, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see in the coming years. I mean, it's only 2015, and already we're already dealing with this shit already.
Yeah, it's.
In the meantime,
I'm sure.
you can take advantage of those single player games.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So I'm really happy I have Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of games that have been, well, kind of transitioned to leaks. But so recently, there has been an image that was leaked for the future DLC for Destiny. And actually, if I can bring it up right now on my, give me a second, guys. But I got the image, and it's a blurry picture, but somebody on NeoGAF was able to translate it. So let me see. There we go. So people can check out what I'm talking about. Okay, so as you can see there, there is about 1, 2, 3, 4. There are like about 4 episodes of content, and apparently something in like in the middle in terms of like something else that they're bringing out. But from what I gathered, here is the names and list of DLC that's going to be coming to Destiny. So the first one's called House of Wolves. It'll be coming out on March 10th of this year. Location to be Cosmos, Drone, Moon, Venus, Reef, and there'll be 3 story, 1 strike, 1 raid, and 4 PvP maps. The second DLC will be called Comet, Plague of Darkness. Comes out September of this year. Locations will be Moon, Venus, Mars, Hive Ship. Activities will be 12 story, 4 strike, 1 raid, 1 location, 6 PvP maps, and the bonus would be new subclasses and 2 new weapon types. This one, I guess they call it Vex for now, but they're still, I guess, figuring out. The person who translated it couldn't translate pretty well. So dates to be announced, locations gonna be Venus and Mars. Activities will be 3 story, 2 strike, 1 raid, and they're kind of unsure on the PvP maps. The last one they were able to make out was Forge of Gods, and everything about that is to be announced. And this was from NeoGAF, which was also reported on VG 24/7 website. So guys, we talked about this before. We talked about the fact that if Destiny had more content, I believe the game would have been a lot better received and a lot better overall. What are you guys' thoughts on the leak, and what are you guys' thoughts of this upcoming content that potentially could sway somebody who was against Destiny back then could potentially be swayed now, or do you think that the damage has been done and they kind of moved on?
I think for those, diehard fans that are definitely have been there since maybe even day one, they're very excited for this. This is another expansion for them. They got some good maps, and a raid, which is important. And because it's like, Destiny right now is not given a whole lot to do besides, the DLC expansion just as of late. And a lot of people were disappointed in that, but maybe this DLC can sway them otherwise.
Right.
I will say this about me personally. I was very disappointed, like extremely disappointed with Destiny.
Yeah.
I tried numerous times to get into it. I spent 50 hours playing the game entirely.
Hmm.
I was into it for the first 10. I'll full and admit that. Like a lot of the time, like after the campaign, I was kind of like, all right, the story kind of sucks, but I played other games where the story sucks and I still enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be something else to this game. And people are like, well, when you hit level 20, there's the end game and you get to do more. And I'm like, all right, cool. And all of that was it got exceptionally boring for me. And I was not a fan of the PvP stuff anyway.
Was it just a lot of grinding?
Right. And, like when I play, because I had this argument with my buddy, well, not argument, it was more of a conversation of disagreeing opinions, so I guess an argument, whatever. We were playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and the way that game works is it's the same kind of areas over and over and over. You play, you do the same things over and over and over to grind to get gold, and then you buy chests which have random items in it. Now, some people might say that sounds lame because it's just the same shit over and over and over, and my argument is that's not the primary part of the game. The story or the single player experience is like 60 hours plus.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. No doubt.
That to me is worth the price.
Mhm.
The multiplayer is just the sprinkling on the cupcake. That's all it is. Destiny, on the other hand, was the promise of a cupcake, and you get like the bottom part of the cake. Not even like the full cupcake, just the bottom part. And that was really disappointing to me. And we even discussed in the podcast that we did when we kind of reviewed it feels like Activision pulled a lot of content intentionally so that way they could release this DLC later. And from what you just showed, it seems very, very much like that. Like that now Activision is trying to cash in on people continuing to play the game, continuing to grind and grind and grind. Now, I'm not saying if you enjoy it, shut the fuck up, because that's not at all what I'm getting at.
Right.
I want people to know, if you enjoy playing Destiny, then keep playing it. Have a good time.
Yeah.
It's not for me, though.
Right.
And so when you said that, you're curious if this new DLC is going to bring people back, if they're in my mindset, no. They're done with the game. They're out. They've already given up on it.
Okay.
But if they're kind of still on the fence a little bit, it might.
Right.
But I don't know.
Here's my question: if this content came with the game from the start, do you think you would have stayed on and kept playing more Destiny?
If there was more like story content.
Yeah, like say all this story content was available with the game.
Like day one.
From day one.
And then the DLC was just like new strikes and raids and PvP maps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. I mean, my big thing, like I have a personal rule. I don't put this on anybody else when it comes to movies, TV shows, comics, whatever. I have to have a certain time length with it to justify the cost. Yeah. So if a game is $60, I want at least 2 hours per dollar. Okay. And that could be within the PvP. That could be, I mean, that's just me playing the game overall.
Yeah.
And with Destiny, you have a 6-hour campaign with like hours upon hours of grinding. And that was the most disappointment for me, was that, yes, I did spend 50 hours. And if you do the cost on that, if I do every 2 hours for $1, it's a little less than $60, I think, if my math is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I might be doing that. Whatever. I think
Yeah.
it's $2 an hour is how I had it. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The the justification wasn't there for me.
Yeah.
That's just what it was. It just didn't. It didn't seem like it was worth it. And if it did have all that story content and then later added stuff, I'd probably still be playing it because like the gameplay in the game itself, not bad,
Oh yeah.
not bad at all.
If I had a question, the gunplay in that game is really good. But yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, like here's the thing for me is that if this content that was leaked today or recently was put out the day of the release of this game, I probably would have rated Destiny higher and probably still kept playing it rather than having to deal with what we had when it was released. Um, because like from that list, like I'm looking at the DLC content that's going to be coming, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that's great. Only if that was out on day one, it would have kept me. But because of what they gave us on day one, which is low content, not that many things to do, using the same place over and over to grind again,
Yeah.
it didn't.
I mean,
It
some
did
people
well.
like that though.
I know they do.
Some people definitely like games where they can grind, and I mean, maybe it's because they like the combat system, or maybe it's because they just like the fight. I don't know. But there, I mean, it's yeah, like you guys said, it's not for everybody. But if this content was released initially, I'm more than certain that the player base would be a lot larger right now.
Right, right. So, the next quick thing we want to talk about real quick before we move on to our esports minute. So there was a live action trailer recently for the game Nightcry. And these are the same guys who did Clock Tower, the classic Clock Tower games. So, I got the video actually up. Let's see, wrong one. Hang on a minute, guys. XSplit just being slow. So let me. So, anyways, so the funny thing with Clock Tower, and I've seen my friends play it, and I've seen it in action. I even seen JonTron's thing on it, but like, in terms of like, as far as the game wise, and you guys are seeing it's not Clock Tower, by the way. Like it's kind of funny that it's coming back. At the same time, like in that live action trailer, it's like they're showing like it's supposed to be like a brand new game, but like at the same time, like it's like it's the same guy. I mean, like there's a clip of him like with actually like holding the scissors. It's like
The
wait,
giant ass scissors.
yeah. So I'm like, wait, is this a sequel? Or
Well,
like,
people are calling it a spiritual successor at this point.
yeah. But like nothing much as far as like in terms of what and get a trailer, or the fact that maybe like the main character from the previous Clock Tower games might be being killed off instantly. So,
Oh, sure.
yeah. Greg, I'm not sure if you had any time playing Clock Tower back in the day or heard of it.
me?
Yeah.
No, I mean, yes and no. My brother, who's currently in the chat right now, we went over to a guy's house who had a PS1, and that's where we found like Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
also happened to have Clock Tower, and I specifically remember the guy with the giant shears coming after you. And I don't know. I don't remember if my brother was dripping shit out of his pants. I know I was. Like that's how terrified I was of that. But we didn't play too much of it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, it's.
I
mean,
it's
it's-
way
it's-
further to add to that because like I don't have an affection for the game. So if they're doing a remake or they're bringing it back in any way, I'm like, that's cool, good for them.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. It's just kind of weird seeing it now. It's like, oh, that's coming back. Cool. All right.
For all nostalgia's sake.
Yeah. So right now we're gonna do our esports minute. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, so our esports minute. Brought to you by Halfbeard's HUD or hbhud.com. And I'll show you guys the website in a minute. But anyways, here's Esports Minute. So, where's my XSplit? Okay. All right. So as you see right, oh, hang on, I gotta pause that. Okay, there we go. So first off, so there was a Blizzard CCO believed that esports belongs in the Olympics, and I'll read it real quick. One of the incredible accomplishments of esports this past year was selling out the Seal SEOUL whatever World Cup Stadium.
Oh, Seal.
Yeah, in October for the League of Legends World Championship Finals. Esports have been selling out shows in a bigger and bigger stadiums around the world, from Seoul and the Commerzbank Arena in Frankfurt, and to some of the biggest American venues, including Madison Square Garden, the Staples Center, and Key Arena. But the next destination for esports, according to Blizzard's chief creative officer Rob Pardo, is Olympic stadiums and the Olympic Games themselves. In an interview with BBC, Pardo made a case for why esports should be included in Olympics, but also recognized how difficult the reality that would be. And he went on to say that he believes that esports should be included in the Olympics, and it was more of a mental mind game or a mind sport, and should be included because, like, while they are not using physically their abilities to play these games, but they are using their minds to play it at a full capacity.
I hate to interrupt the eSports Minute. I do have to add this. I watched a thing a while back of a guy who played StarCraft 2 competitively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that his diet and routine daily was what a regular athlete does. He would work out for 2 hours, and it was his diet consisted of health foods, because if he didn't keep his health up, he didn't keep his body in shape, his mind would go with it, and he wouldn't be able to compete properly.
Sure.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Next is in the news. Hang on a minute-ish. So next in the news is that Dota 2, RTZ, and Kai, the secret team, Aoi underscore 2000, and Samuel to EG Cloud9, considering Notel. That's a lot of words. a lot of abbreviations. Okay, so this team, this new team is definitely going to be an interesting new year for Dota 2 scene, as one of the biggest roster shuffles has been revealed just before upcoming Dota 2 Asia Championships. Arteezy and Zai are both leaving Evil Genesis and filling in for 2 open spots on Team Secret, following the departure of Big Daddy. Filling in the 2 open spots on Evil Genesis will be EG stand-in Samuel Hassan, and support player Aoi 2000, formerly of Cloud9 Gaming. Basically, there's been a huge shift in the Dota 2 scene in terms of these players. It's it sounds to me like the similar thing that happened in the NBA recently with LeBron, when LeBron and D Wade and Bosh were in Miami. It sounds like the same thing, but with these guys to another team.
Sure.
So that's cool. I personally like, I personally like when players do that. So okay, and last but not least, Dota 2 Ninjas and Pajamas joined Dota 2 acquire Swedish team LAGONS. I
probably Legends.
Yeah, Legends. I suck up pronounce this shit.
Oh, it's fine. We'll just pronounce it as it is. It seems.
Right. Okay. So real quick, for entirety of 21st Century, Ninjas of Pajama has been synonymous with the franchise and esports. Counter-Strike, the franchise, earned them the reputation as the primary Swedish squad back with Counter-Strike 1.6, and evaluated their status to global powerhouse following the release of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Now they're disbanding their League of Legends squad. This past October, NIP are taking a bold step in new direction, entering the Dota 2 scene for the first time in organization's history. On the first day of the new year, NIP announced that they had acquired Swedish Dota 2 team Legends, The new team is led by a player with ample competitive experience, despite being the youngest on board, Adrian Era Kazu, who spent 2.5 years with European powerhouse Fnatic before departing for Legends this past September. Fnatic completed in several primary tournaments with Era, including 2 internationals, and Era would establish himself as one of the Dota 2's top carriers. Now thrust into the leadership role of leading a relatively new squad with a big name behind them, and it will be very curious to see how Era responds and see how well NAP does in a new environment. So that is your esports minute, although that was more like 5 minutes, but
yeah.
But anyways, no, but I want to give a shout out and thanks to Halfbeard Hut, yeah, for giving us permission to use their esports column from their website. Definitely check them out, guys. They're a good source for some esports if you need to find some out, as well as podcasts and other things they have on the site, let's plays and everything else. Yeah, so definitely shout outs to them for sure. Now, back to the show. So then 2014 ended, 2015 starts, and one of the things I kept seeing and later, like toward the end of the year, was a lot of game outlets, a lot of people putting out their top 10s, a lot of people putting out what is initially their game of the year. Now, while we have a podcast, we're going to talk about that on soonish. I do want to talk about a little bit about that and some of the games that were up there in terms of like that were game of the year potentials were Dragon Age Inquisition, Bayonetta 2, Shadow of Mordor, Shovel Knight, and various. Greg, you have Shovel Knight as your game of the year for 2014.
Absolutely.
And can you tell us why Shovel Knight is your game of the year?
There are quite a few reasons why. Yes, it's not that long, but that's the beauty of it. In my opinion, like it allows you to go and play it again. It allows you to go and maybe take your time a little bit and check out some I'm trying to think of how to properly say this. Like, the things I loved about it the most. I'll just talk about why what I loved about it. The music is fucking outstanding. Vert did an amazing job with that soundtrack, and getting one of the composers of Mega Man from back in the day to come in and do 2 tracks, fucking fantastic. The fact that it was kickstarted. This is not a studio-produced game. This is a game that people wanted so badly that they just kept dumping money into it. And it controls so well on whatever platform you're playing it on. The visuals, you know, yes, they tried to keep their limit to NES style graphics, but they were like, well, fuck that sometimes with colors, like the Viking knight. I can't think of his name suddenly.
Shovel Knight. Oh no, we're talking about
No, not Shovel Knight. The snow one.
Shit. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Well, his coat, like the way he looked, he had different colors that the NES couldn't produce.
Oh sure.
And
so the
level design is just fun and challenging in a unique way, allowing the player to figure out exactly how to play the game without having some prompt come up every 2 seconds and tell them. Like, I wrote an article on the site about how the first level is the most brilliant thing ever. First, there is no opening cutscene. You are jumped right into the action no matter what. Because the game is you know, it's trying to let you have fun playing it. And it does it in just a beautiful way. And no other game this year had me go back and beat it 8 fucking times in a row. Like, I played that, then I put codes in to make it harder for myself, like the DuckTales mode. You can only get hit 4 times with full upgraded health.
Wow.
Ha, hilarious.
Like, when you start
crazy.
the game, you can only get hit twice.
Yeah.
So, like, just there's so much about the game that is the character design, the creativity, the overworld layout map, the upgrading system, the secrets. There's so much. There's almost nothing bad I can say about the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was funny enough. I just finished playing Shovel Knight last night. I completed the game, and I agree with most of you said, Greg. Like, I felt the music was really good. I felt like the art style was really awesome. I didn't know that it was fundraised. Like, I remember hearing about Shovel Knight, but I never really realized like this game was fundraised, and that it was brought into light by many fans. It was really cool. I enjoyed the game. I honestly, when I was playing that game, I kind of wish I would have bought on my 3DS because I felt like that fit much better on the 3DS than on my PC. But regardless, the game is pretty good. I wouldn't put it as my game of the year. I feel like for Shovel Knight, while it does things very well, I feel like there are still stronger games out there that, in my opinion, probably was a bit better. But nonetheless, the game's really good. The game is solid, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I highly recommend it to anybody who A, either grew up in the NES age, or B, wants to know why people still go back to the NES age.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a great example of showing what the developers were able to do with the limitations they had.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm not saying that games are only good because if a developer has limitations. That's nowhere near what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out like Yacht Club Games wanted to make something that they wanted to play, that from the childhood that they remember.
Oh yeah.
And they borrowed from some of the best NES games available.
That's true.
And there's thousands of things I could say about why this game is great. The checkpoint system, brilliant.
Yeah.
Just so much. Just literally so much.
Yeah.
And the game, again, takes what? Like, I can beat it in less than 3 hours in a single sitting.
Oh, so you can just keep coming back and playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like... there's like, I think in total levels, I think it's like only, I want to say 8, maybe.
There's the opening level, the 8 boss levels, the Kickstarter level, as I like to call it, and then the final 2 boss levels. So.
Oh right, so like around 10. Yeah, it took me 2 sittings to beat it, only because the fact that in that game there were some frustrating parts in that game that I just could not pass at some points. I had to walk away from the game for a bit. It's like, no, I can't do this right now.
I'm just curious what sections.
Oh man, it was funny because I just saw like the statistics of how many times I died. The place I died the most was the wind level, or that the flying flying fortress level.
Yeah, you're talking about the Propeller Knight level.
Yes, that I had the most problems in.
Yeah, because it could potentially be the 8th boss. It's part of the grouping of 3 there, with the Tinker Knight, Propeller Knight, and Polar Knight. Polar Knight's the fucking ice boss that I was thinking of. Yeah. Those 3 levels are the hardest in the game. Not even like the final 2 leading to the final boss are as hard as those 3.
Yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from, but
just out of curiosity, like so I found this. I was playing this last night and I beat one of the adventures, and I'm pretty sure they had like some deal or they had a company that helped them out. But like, the Baz from what was the game called? Dive Kick was in the game. Like is one of the adventures.
You want to know something about the Baz?
Yeah.
Do you know who 2 Best Friends are?
Yeah.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
They created a character in some game a long time ago called the Baz. So for every game that they play where they're able to create a character, they create the Baz. They were those 2 guys were some of the biggest reasons that Kickstarter got so popular.
Oh.
And as a thank you, they put the Baz in the game.
Oh, cool.
Wow. Same goes for Dive Kick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why is this character in this game?
That's so funny.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to kind of discuss, Speaking of 2014, 2015, and Game of the Year discussions, now looking forward to the new year. What are you guys' predictions for 2015? Like, keep it light, but like, what one or two things do you see happening? It could be a game, it could be a change in the game industry, whatever.
I think this is the year. This is where a lot of shit where people were anticipating is finally gonna come out, and it's gonna be really awesome. I'm like really excited for this year, no joke. I'm very excited.
So we're gonna get some actually good working games this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm really hoping nothing comes out, broken or, half complete by the time it goes to full retail release.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Greg, anything?
I want to agree, but I'm gonna sound like a old fuddy duddy. I'm really concerned. Legitimately, like I'm looking forward to a lot of games coming out this year. Um, Quite a few to be honest. Just in the first quarter, I'm really looking forward to Evolve and Get Out of Hell.
Oh yeah.
Um, uh, there's a few more that I can't really think of off the top of my head, but I'm always looking forward to fun games. But with the trend that happened this year with gaming,
Yeah.
either developers need to, because this was like the most disappoint, like 2014 was the most disappointed I've ever been in a year of
Oh,
gaming.
no doubt.
Yeah, 2014 was a really weird year where there wasn't really a standout game, and majority of the good games were the indie games where you had to go and find them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I was pleasantly surprised by Dragon Age Inquisition. I did not think I was going to like that game as much as I did, but that was the only AAA title that I can think of that came out this year that I really was like, this is absolutely amazing and worth every penny that it was used to make and cost. Titanfall was pretty damn good. Like, I mean, yeah, it's multiplayer only, but the servers worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a big part.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
it played very well. It felt very balanced.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, people who are higher level are able to use things that like you can't
Yeah.
or whatever, but it's a very well made game. So I mean, like I want to go over a list of games, but I know that that's for a different podcast. So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely, for sure. For me personally, like one game in particular, I'm excited for. Is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh yeah.
Especially since it's come out for the PC, which is great.
That is great.
Um, and I intend to go back and just play some of the Metal Gear games, at least in the chronological order.
Chronological order.
Yeah. So that I can at least know what the hell is going on. But yeah, I'm excited for that. But in terms of anything else in the year 2015, like I, I hope that games are. I think games. I hope games are delayed and come out as more of a finished product than what happened last year.
Yeah.
I want to see more indie games come out that were just as good in 2014, but come out even more. And I'm hoping like they get more of the spotlight, or equally as good as spotlight as some AAA game might come out.
Yeah.
So I kind of want the best of both worlds. But
I think there needs to be larger support for indie games than there is currently.
Yeah, no doubt.
agreed. But yeah, like that's kind of what I'm hoping and looking forward to for 2015. But we'll see. I mean, it's a brand new year, so who knows may end up happening in the coming months. So one of the last things that I want to talk about. So recently, there has been a world record set. So for people who don't know, it gives me time to actually talk about it as well. Hang on, let me load it up real quick. So okay, there it goes. All right, so there has been a world record set for the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time speedrun on any percent, and this is done by Joden Stone, and the time he managed to beat the game was at 18 minutes and 7 seconds, um, which is freaking pretty
Damn.
incredible. It's really cool. It's funny, like with these speed runs, I've been kind of getting more into them as of late. Thanks to Awesome Games Done Quick and the summer Games Done Quick they do for a week
Yeah.
straight. And yeah, like it's pretty cool to see how they glitch through the game and actually beat it in
Yeah,
different ways.
keep in mind this is an any percent speed run. So this would be considering that this was basically the fastest way to beat the game. Not like doing 100% or anything. Just basically getting through as quickly as possible using any sort of glitches or basically just manipulating it, you know.
Definitely. Not using any cheat codes, not using any training tools or anything of the nature. I believe the last person to have the world record for beating this game was Cosmos.
Cosmo, yeah, he beat it at 18:10, and yeah, this new record beats it by 3 seconds. So it's just basically perfectionists trying to beat each other at this point.
Yeah.
It's people are trying to squeeze out the last seconds they can before another record is set. It's just complete. I don't know. Speedrunners put in a lot of time and dedication to their games. It's just a lot of retrying and patience.
Yeah, it's funny because I think speedrunners are it's pretty cool. I've been watching speedruns for many years on like speedrunsarchive.com and all that
Yeah.
jazz. And my only issue is that there are speedrunners that take themselves far too seriously.
Oh, no doubt.
That's why I like Caleb, who
Oh,
does
uh-huh.
Mega Man X,
Mhm.
because he does not take himself seriously. He knows he's silly. He knows he's over the top, and he has fun with it. But there are people that are like, good lord, there are people that are like, if someone else suggests to them a different speed, a different run, or a different route, they're just like, no,
Yeah.
go fuck. It's like, calm down.
Yeah. Really.
Right, definitely. But no, shout outs to for the new world record in Legend of Zelda. I do want to take this time though to talk about hang on. Summer done quick. They are starting tomorrow actually.
Yeah, awesome games done quick.
Yes. So they are starting tomorrow, and they're going on for a full week. Nothing but speed runs of games.
Charity speed run, by the way, so you can donate any money, any amount.
Definitely. So like what they do is they have people come in and speed run various games of whatever games is being played, ranging from Legend of Zelda, Half-Life, Super Mario. Here's some of the games to start of tomorrow. So we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Wario Land 4, Banjo-Kazooie, Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart Wii, Tazbot plays MK64. He also plays Pokemon Red and a mystery game. Transistor, Tomb Raider Anniversary, Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, Infamous, Festival of Blood, and World of Illusions, Rocket Knight Adventures, and Sparkster. Keep in mind, like this event, when it starts, is like a 24/7 type of deal. Like they will have people playing these games at like 3-4 in the morning, in case you were up that late and want to see a speedrun of that nature. So it's really cool. It's like my entertainment for the next week.
Yeah, I know. I'll definitely be watching.
Oh yeah, same here. So
I'll be tuning in and out for sure.
So definitely check it out, guys. Starts tomorrow, I believe at. Let me see. Go back. Is that 8?
Probably 8 a.m. or something. It starts early.
Yeah. Hang on. Give me a minute, guys. Schedule. Okay. Okay. It starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if you guys are not into football, you can watch that. Anyway, so that's gonna do it for our show. Before we go, Greg, where can they find you on the internet?
A number of places. You can follow me on Twitter at ChubRockGeek. I also have a Twitch account that I occasionally stream on. Same name, just Search for Chub Rock Geek on Twitch and you'll find me. I also stream every Wednesday on Half Empty Energy Tank. You can come and hang out and try to win a free game. I don't play anything. I play everything on Xbox One because I don't have a streaming system yet. So if there's like a game that you're like, can you play this? Chances are I can't. Just deal with it. I was going to this week start streaming on the Mission Start on this channel itself. But with AGGQ, like, right around the corner, I think I'm going to postpone it till next week.
That's fine. That's understandable, too.
Yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet. That being said, the following week, after AGGQ, I will be doing 2 to 3 hours every day around noon of Dragon Age Inquisition until I beat the game.
Awesome.
So, so definitely tune in for that. I have articles and reviews always coming up on missionstartpodcast.com, as Anthony will end the podcast talking about briefly. I think my latest review... I don't remember what my latest review is.
It's been a while.
I do not remember. Well, it hadn't been that long. I think it was Batman Lego 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think it was. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, definitely, guys. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Chris, where can they find you on the internet?
I actually have a Twitter I forgot about. I rediscovered it just recently. So you can find me at Old Milk with a Q, and that's on Twitter. So
awesome.
That's pretty much where you can find me.
Sorry to interrupt. My last review was of the 2 Telltale episode 1.
Oh, right.
Game
Good
of Thrones
point.
and Borderlands.
Oh yeah, that was a good episode.
You can follow me personally on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that we all three do on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. Actually, I can pop that up right now. Boom. There we go. Yay, expert. So yeah, you can definitely check out our new stuff that we have coming in the works. You can follow this podcast as well as our podcast on our website on iTunes and Stitcher. This show will be on YouTube as well as on our podcast section. And be sure to subscribe and be sure to keep us in your subscribe channel so that whenever a new episode pops up, you get to see us and our ugly mugs to talk about video game news over the week. But yeah, for future content, look for some Anime LA content coming up pretty soon. Me and 2 others, Jeremy and Ren, are going to be there covering it. Right now, we have Chris Sturm out in the field right now covering SAC Anime right now. You can check out all of the photos so far uploaded onto our Facebook at facebook.com/missionstartpodcast. But yeah, that's going to do it for us for this week. So with that, we say Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays.
Happy holidays, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.